Good morning, Wenatchee Valley. Good morning, North Central Washington. We're back at it for another day. Here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, it's right smack dab in the middle of the week and right smack dab in the middle of the month. I'm quoting the legendary Ray Charles. It's the 16th day of October. It is Wednesday. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host. A little light drizzle going on outside of our studios. It's been raining oh so lightly. Kind of sprinkle dinkles, if you will, since about half an hour ago, and get used to it. I'm not saying that you need to go out and build an ark, but according to the National Weather Service, between today and by the time we get to the end of the weekend and into the early part of next week, we could see more rain in the next 5 days than we normally see for the entire month of October, and it has already started. It's a very active weather pattern. We had that little ridge of high pressure that kept things at bay. Well, it's gone. It's over in Montana, hanging around there. And that's going to allow just a parade of systems. There's one right after the other. It's going to come pay us a visit right through the weekend and into the early part of next week. More rain than not. Certainly not a lot of sunshine. We're going to have a couple of breaks here and there. Outside of that, it's going to be cloudy. It's going to be rainy. It's going to be cool. It was cool again yesterday. We only hit 52. That was all we got to. On Tuesday, our normal high for October 15th would be 62 degrees. We were 10 degrees below normal yesterday, and that means 14 out of the last 15 days. Our afternoon high temperature, our daily afternoon high temperature has been below normal. It's been a cool October. Forecast details are coming up. We have the latest news headlines. It was a busy news day yesterday, and I'll fill you in on what happened when we get to your news headlines coming up in a couple of minutes. For the first time in 86 years, they'll be playing World Series baseball in our nation's capital. The Nationals punched their ticket. They had no real problems at all dispatching the St. Louis Cardinals in 4 quick games. However, my Yankees did not win last night. Hanging in there. We got sports, also the obscure holiday today in history. We got some celebrity birthdays. Everybody's entitled to Mike McNally's opinion, and Darci Christoferson is back again, the administrator of the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival. They got a big night coming up on October 26th. It's their annual auction, and of course, you're invited. Everybody's invited. Why tickets last? While tickets last. I don't know how long that's going to last, our conversation, but Darci coming up in the back half of the program. Look at those cobalt blue skies as the sun starts to get the job done. Let's take you around the valley with our Valley View cameras, our PTZ cameras. That's an acronym for pan, tilt, and zoom, so we can move them around, and we have it tilted up just a little bit, showing a little bit more of the sky over the Wenatchee Valley. And again, it's the active weather has already begun for North Central Washington. We're going to have rain today, rain tonight, a little bit of a break on Thursday, then rain again on Thursday night, spilling into Friday, rain again Friday night, rain Saturday morning. We could use it. Nothing wrong with a little rain. It's going to feel very October-like. Sun's not quite up yet. It's got some work to do. 7:21 will be sunrise this morning. Sunset at 6:11. That'll buy us 10 hours and 50 minutes of daylight on this Wednesday. Days are getting shorter. Daylight saving time, by the way, comes to an end on November 3rd in the middle of the night, and then we go back to standard time, although I shouldn't say nobody likes it. I don't. Come on, feds. Get off your keystern. Let's get that taken care of. We'll have that, by the way, in the news. Camera 2, where are we off to, Megan? Appolantes, and that's pulled back quite a bit. Mount Cashmere, way off in the distance is Mount Stewart. You can see almost all of Cashmere there. Looking good. Looking really good, Cashmere is. Cashmere Bulldogs girls soccer team has got a real machine going there. Dennis Tronson's coaching a really good team. They won again, by the way. We'll talk about that when we get to sports. Good morning, Cashmere. Thanks for starting the day with us. I like that pulled back look. That's cool. We can see almost all of Cashmere from that view. That's nice. That's high above the Appolantes complex in Cashmere. Camera number 3. We say good morning to... okay, that's the McNeil Canyon camera. Is that correct, Megan? Yes, I'm just going to say good morning, Lake Chelan, way off in the distance. It's very blue up there. That's the very tip top of McNeil Canyon. Looking down over the Lake Chelan area, way off into the distance there. That's a gorgeous view. That is just, look how over, and everybody, by the way, is getting rain. Speaking of that, if you have travel plans over the mountain passes on Saturday, snow level is going to get down to pass level on Saturday with all of the rain. They're going to be measuring, they're thinking maybe 7 to 8 inches of rain in the Cascades over the next few days. That's a lot of rain. And it's going to switch to snow at the pass levels, just about 4,000 feet, they tell us, on Saturday morning. Camera number 4. Let's say good morning to, is that the Waterville camera, Megan? Hey, all right, not bad. That is pointed also towards the Lake Chelan area. You can barely make out the Columbia River down below in US 97A. Down there, you can see a few headlights, and way off in the distance, of course, is the Lake Chelan area. That's one of our highest cameras. Not quite as high as Billy Goat, but certainly up there, about 40. You combine the actual elevation of the terrain and then the fact that these are on towers, which adds another couple of hundred feet. We're looking at a camera that's about 4,300 feet above sea level, give or take a couple. That's why we have these stunning views, and that is how it works, of course. The Localtel Sky-Fi system, the best way for this system to work is to have all the dishes as high up as they can possibly be, and there you go. Great views from around the valley. Nice work today, Megan, at 6 minutes after the hour. Let's take a look at your forecast from the National Weather Service. Did I mention it's going to rain? We got a graphic for you we'll show you real quick, but first of all, there you go. Rain today, off and on. Take a look at that. The top graph is your temperatures. It says we're going to top off about 60. I think maybe about 59, right? Maybe 60 possibility. The middle graph is your potential for precipitation, which is now. That's the brown graph that you see. The blue graph that you see is the percentage of the sky that will be covered in clouds, which means we'll have a lot of clouds and pretty good rain. And then at the bottom of your screen is how much rain we're going to get. We go from a chance of rain to a pretty good chance of rain pretty much all day today until we get to about 10 o'clock tonight. So, yep, it's going to be wet. Rain today, light sprinkles this morning, and then pretty consistent rain when we get to the afternoon hours. It's going to be cloudy, as you might imagine, and a high of about 59 degrees. It is lightly raining outside of our studios as we speak. So not a gully washer, but certainly pretty damp for most of the day today. Rain will continue until we get to about 10 or 11 o'clock tonight, and then gradually it'll become partly cloudy skies while we're sleeping, 44 for the overnight low. Thursday is the day we catch a little bit of a break. It's still going to be cloudy, but there's no real rain in the forecast as the next system gets ready to line up and pay us a visit. We'll top off at 58 tomorrow. And then Thursday night into Friday, here comes the next system. It's going to rain overnight Thursday night into Friday. Also a little breezy at times on Thursday night. Northwest wind about 8 to 13 miles an hour. Gusts up above 20 at times Thursday night. And again, pretty good chance of rain into Friday. Friday morning, we taper off. No real rain in the forecast. We'll have some sunshine, as a matter of fact, on Friday, but don't get used to it. There's a trade-off with the cool temperature of only 56. We will be dry, but it's going to be breezy on Friday as well. Pretty consistent west wind with gusts up to about 20 miles an hour on Friday. Friday night, next band of rain comes. Most of the rain Friday night will be after midnight, so if you're going out to a football game on Friday night, you should be dry. Under cloudy skies, we'll dip down to 41. Let's take a look at your weekend, because we can. Rain likely on Saturday morning. By Saturday afternoon, we should dry out. Certainly going to be cloudy all day. Saturday, high of only 55. And then on Sunday, again, a continuing chance of rain, a mixture of clouds and sun, and a high of about 56. Then we dry out a little bit on Monday and Tuesday. As I mentioned, they think we're going to have enough rain from today through Sunday and into Monday that would basically top off the tank for the entire month of October. We're going to get all that rain in just a period of about 5 days, with the one notable exception of Friday and the snow level in the passes on Saturday morning. Friday night into Saturday morning is going to dip down to pass level. So there you go. We're in for a wet period of weather starting right now. It's raining lightly outside of our studios and 45 degrees. At 9 minutes after the hour, we are going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have your Wednesday morning news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, and we're broadcasting live this morning from Studio 8 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life channel.
My first experience with CVCH, I had to come in with my daughter by myself with a cut in my hand that required stitches. And the care and compassion at CVCH was really significant, that they took the care and compassion and made me feel more as a human instead of just a patient there. The care they have for their community all around, inside and outside the clinic, is what I feel like is different. And that's what makes me want to come back to CVCH and recommend them to my friends and family.
Hi, my name is Jim Heinlein, independent agent and owner at Springwater Insurance Group, formerly known as Senior Insurance Services. And we recently decided to make that name change because we're offering so many different other types of insurances in addition to Medicare education and enrollment, like we've been doing for 15 years. So if you have questions about Medicare or any other forms of insurances, give us a call at Springwater Insurance Group, 888-2600, or visit us at any of our 5 locations.
"11 minutes after the hour, light rain in downtown Wenatchee, 45 degrees, very active weather right through the weekend, really into the weekend, with light rain this morning, considerable rain this afternoon, and we're pretty much going to have rain off and on, right on into Sunday and into Monday, with the exception of Friday. We should be dry, at least during the day on Friday. Here's what's making headlines on this Wednesday morning. One man is dead, and another is in custody in apparent homicide in Omak. This happened early yesterday morning. Police say they were called to a West 3rd Street residence at about 3:30 in the morning, and that's where they found the victim deceased, another man suffering a stab wound. Investigators are not releasing the details of the crime or the crime scene or the names of the victims, but they say there's no further threat to the public. We'll have more on this story tonight at 5 o'clock with Grant Olson. Well, the last of the 5 former inmates initially charged with trying to rape a fellow inmate in the Chelan County Jail, well, he saw those charges dropped last week. 46-year-old Johnny Lee Jordan instead was sentenced on charges of prison riot. Jordan and the other inmates were accused of attempting to sexually assault a 6th man inside the jail with a tube of toothpaste, but the case fell apart when the alleged victim dropped out of contact with the Chelan County Prosecutor's Office. All the defendants have now received sentences between a year and 16 months in jail on lesser charges like prison riot, criminal mischief, and drug possession. A motorist suspected of displaying a handgun in traffic was chased down by police and arrested in Wenatchee on Tuesday morning. 27-year-old Jesse Jeffrey Hector was jailed, cited on a charge of displaying a weapon. East Wenatchee police say Hector was traveling with a woman and an infant in a black Toyota Tundra at about 8:35 yesterday morning when he showed a black 9mm handgun to another motorist near the intersection of Grant Road and Highway 28. Police stopped his car on Mission Street near 1st Street, arrested him after allegedly finding a handgun in the truck. Nobody was injured in that incident. Speaking of East Wenatchee Police, their police chief, Randy Harrison, made it official. He's going to retire at the end of the year. The embattled chief has formally submitted his letter of resignation. It's effective December 31st. The search for a new chief comes as voters are also preparing to elect a new mayor to replace Steve Lacey. Lacey reportedly said he would like to see a new chief hired before Christmas, but that timeline might be too fast for the 2 candidates seeking to replace him in the November 5th election.
I think we both probably feel that a little more time looking into the issue would be beneficial to us in making that decision on the next police chief.
City Council members and mayoral candidates Jerry Crawford and Tim Dietering agree that Lacey's timeline may be a little too aggressive. They share their comments at an upcoming NCW Life candidate preview.
But as far as actually selecting it, I agree it's pretty aggressive to think you're going to be able to get through that in a couple of months. So we'll be in the process. Whether it's completed or not really depends on the qualities of the candidates and how thorough you want to be.
Harrison's retirement comes during a time of turmoil for the East Wenatchee Police Department following claims of mismanagement and a vote of no confidence from the police officers. Well, this year, the Washington State Legislature, of course, overwhelmingly approved year-round daylight saving time. The bill was signed into law by Governor Jay Inslee and celebrated by lovers of daylight everywhere. But November 3rd on Sunday morning will still fall back. That means we'll have to turn the clocks back 1 hour to standard time. So what happened? Well, simply, in order to ditch the switch, as lawmakers called it, the state first needs to get approval from the United States Congress, and that hasn't happened. And it sounds like it won't for quite some time. So Washington, like Oregon and California and the other states that want permanent daylight saving time, well, come the wee small hours of November 3rd, you'll go back to standard time. You'll get the hour back that we gave away back in spring. But the Fed's got to sign off on it. They haven't done it yet. And that's what's making headlines on this Wednesday morning. Grant Olson, our news anchor, has a preview of tonight's news.
Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, we'll have more details on that homicide in Omak yesterday, and we'll tell you about the efforts of the Wenatchee Valley Beaver Project. Plus, I'll have a very wet weather forecast. Eric Granstrom will be in with all of the day's sports and more when you join us tonight at 5, 6, and 10 right here on the NCW Life channel. Dan?
Thanks, Grant. We appreciate it. He's going to be busy today keeping track of this very active weather that's already starting to begin here in the Wenatchee Valley. So join Grant and Eric at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock tonight, 5, 6, and 10, the news. Grant handles the weather forecasting as well. Eric will be at the sports desk. We'll love to have you join us. If you can't make it at 5, 6, or 10, you can watch it on demand by going to our website at ncwlife.com. You can go to our Facebook page, too. We'll post a link to our Facebook page. You click on that, it takes us to our homepage. You can use our Facebook page as a tool for you to get a hold of us. You can also go to our website at ncwlife.com. Contact us that way. You can pick up the telephone and give us a call if you have a news tip. You just want to say hi. You want to comment on how we're doing. We love to hear from you. Keep in mind that if you want to comment on our performance as a television station, we only accept unqualified praise. Drop us a line at ncwlife.com or send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. We're going to take a break when we come back. Sports, the obscure holiday, today in history. We got some celebrity birthdays for you. Everybody's entitled to my His opinion. And Darci Christoferson back again, talking apple blossom. Can't do that enough with Darce. All that coming up between now and 8 o'clock. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, live this morning from Studio 9 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life channel.
To the people of the city of Chelan, I am the most qualified candidate seeking the office of mayor. Educated, experienced, and dedicated, I will represent all the residents of Chelan to the best of my ability and be accessible to them. I am the common sense candidate to bring balance to the city's transportation, housing, and recreation. This election will determine the future of Chelan. Keep our Eastern Washington small town appearance. Vote for Bob Getty. I'm Bob Getty, and I approve this message.
So Pam, how's your mom doing?
She's okay. She's struggling. She'd like to stay in her house, and it's getting harder for her to do the daily chores.
What kinds of problems is she having?
Just basic house cleaning, taking care of her house, yard work, taking care of her medicine.
Mm-hmm. It does sound exhausting.
It is very exhausting, and I always worry about her.
Aging and Adult Care can assist you or your loved one to remain comfortably and safely in their own home. Contact them today to start the conversation. We're back at 18 minutes after the hour. Light rain and 45 degrees in the big city. Rain most of the day today, especially this afternoon. And outside of Friday, we're going to be in for a pretty wet period of weather. Let's take a look at sports. Hey, take heart, Mariner fans. Just 10 years ago, the Washington Nationals were dead last in their division with a 69-93 record. And now the Nationals are heading for the World Series for the first time in the history of the franchise. They swept away the St. Louis Cardinals in 4 games to win the National League Championship Series. Now, the Mariners, of course, they just finished a 68-94 campaign, and with the Nationals qualifying for the World Series, Seattle is the last franchise left in Major League Baseball not to make the Fall Classic. Washington jumped on St. Louis starter Dakota Hudson for 7 runs in the first inning, held on for the 7-4 win last night in front of a huge crowd at Nationals Park. Trey Turner was 2 for 4 with a run, a couple of ribbies. Juan Soto 2 for 4 with a run and a ribby to lead Washington. The Nationals now wait to see if they're going to be heading to Houston or New York City for Game 1 of the World Series, which begins next Tuesday. By the way, fans of the franchise, they had to wait 36 years as the Montreal Expos and another 15 as the Washington Nationals before they finally made it to the World Series. So Seattle fans, you've had to wait 43 years. So if the math pencils out, we'll be in the World Series in 8 years. Speaking of Houston, they're up 2-1 over the Yankees. They won Game 3 in the Bronx yesterday, 4-1. Garrett Cole worked 7 innings for the victory. He allowed no runs, 4 hits, 7 strikeouts, 5 walks. Yankees left 9 men on base and were 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position. Jose Altuve and Josh Reddick hit solo home runs off starter Luis Severino, who took the loss. He went 4 1/3 innings. Game 4 is scheduled for tonight at Yankee Stadium at 5:08. There is rain, significant rain in the forecast in the Bronx. It could very well be rained out, in which case they'll play tomorrow night. Let's go to the Les Schwab Prep Soccer scoreboard from last night. Busy schedule. Davis Pirates surprising the Wenatchee Panthers. A 2-1 win in a shootout down in Yakima. Davis outscored Wenatchee in the shootout session 4-3 to hand the Panthers their second loss in league play this season. Eastmont, meanwhile, jumped out to a 4-0 lead at half, went on for a 5-0 win over Ike at Wildcat Stadium. That puts the Wildcats in first place alone in the Big Nine. They're 7-1. Wenatchee is second at 6-2. And these two teams will face off Saturday, 1 o'clock in East Wenatchee. We will have the game live right here on the NCAA Life Channel. Moses Lake kept pace with the Panthers. They improved to 5-2 in the season. They beat West Valley 2-0. In other soccer action on Tuesday, Kashmir bombed Omak 8-0. Othello got by Quincy 5-3. Ellensburg doubled up on Ephrata 4-2. The Bulldogs remain unbeaten in Central Washington play. To the Les Schwab Prep volleyball scoreboard from last night. Wenatchee stayed red hot. They swept Davis 3-0. The Panthers are now 7-1 in Big Nine play, 8-2 overall, just a game back of West Valley. The Rams, by the way, took care of Moses Lake in 3 games. Eastmont picked up a victory at Eisenhower, 3-0. Wildcats are 5-3 in the Big Nine. That's third place. The Chiefs are 4-4, or in fourth place, I should say, at 3-4. Caribou Trail League volleyball. Chelan swept Cascade 3-0. They're 4-0 in league play, 9-0 on the season. Omak improved to 2-1 in CTL play with a 3-0 sweep of Kashmir. In Central Washington Athletic Conference play, Ellensburg kept pace with Sela atop the standings, 6-0 with a 3-game sweep of Quincy. And in the only Central Washington B League score that we got, Lake Roosevelt won a close one with Manson, 3-2. Hey, tomorrow night is Thursday, and around these parts, that means it's hockey night here. On the NCAA Live Channel, we'll feature the Wenatchee Wild and the West Kelowna Warriors from a game at the Town Toyota Center last weekend. Arch Ecker will have you play-by-play 7 o'clock tomorrow night right here on your television home for the Wenatchee Wild, and that's us. And speaking of the Wild, they have quite a road trip coming up this weekend. They'll be at Alberni Valley Friday at 7, and they'll take on Cowichan Valley at the Cowichan Community Center Saturday at 6, and they wrap up the trip in Victoria at the Q Center against the Grizzlies Sunday at 2. Wenatchee is currently 4th in the Interior Division standings. They are 6-4-1-1. They have 14 points. Penticton leads the division. They're 11-1 with 22 points. That's the best record in the British Columbia Hockey League. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Wednesday at 22 minutes after the hour. I had 7 different obscure holidays to choose from on the 16th day of October. It's National Liquor Day. Not going to do that one. National Department Store Day. I don't know why I didn't choose that one. It's Bra Day, USA. It's Hagfish Day. It's National Fossil Day. It's Medical Assistance Recognition Day. We're not doing any of those. We're doing Dictionary Day today because October 16th is the birthday of the guy who wrote the dictionary, Noah Webster. I guess you can't really write the dictionary. You can organize the dictionary. Noah Webster started writing his dictionary in 1807. It took him 27 years to complete the dictionary. There had never been an all-in-one dictionary until Noah Webster says somebody's got to get all this organized. And in the course of putting together the dictionary, he learned 26 languages, not just English, but he learned German, Greek, Latin, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, French, Hebrew, Sanskrit, Arabic. He learned them all, and as a spelling reformer, he said we have to simplify the way we spell words, especially for you English people out there. He believed, and I'm quoting now, the United States should be as independent in literature as she is in her politics. Some of his changes didn't quite catch on, but basically he wanted words to be more phonetic than they were before. Ironically enough, the word phonetic was not even in his dictionary, which was finally published in 1828 at the age of 70. I still use a dictionary almost every day. Happy National Dictionary Day. A library without a dictionary is not a library. There, 24 minutes after the hour. A bunch of things happened on this date in history. 226 years ago, Marie Antoinette said, "Let him eat cake." And the people of France said, "You can't eat cake without a head." Marie Antoinette, the widow of Louis XVI, guillotined in public at the height of the French Revolution on October 16, 1793, 226 years ago. That's an artist's representation. We have no film of it, thank goodness. Marie Antoinette, the widow of Louis XVI, lost her head 226 years ago because she figuratively lost her head. Then she literally lost her head. This is the 160th anniversary of the famous raid of John Brown. John Brown led a raid on Harper's Ferry, West Virginia, was hoping to start a slave revolt. He became a hero of the abolitionists, one of the more significant events leading up to the Civil War. 10 were killed during the raid itself. 7, including John Brown, were captured and were executed. In fact, there wasn't even a trial. They just said, John Brown said, yeah, we did it. John Brown became a martyr 160 years ago today, the raid on Harper's Ferry. Happy 96th birthday to the behemoth that is the Walt Disney Company. The Walt Disney Company was founded with the Disney brothers, Roy and Walt, as equal partners on October 16, 1923. And in the course of 96 years, Disney is now all-encompassing. Disney owns Disney Studios, Disney Pictures, Pixar, Marvel Studios, Lucasfilm, including the entire Star Wars franchise. Disney now owns 20th Century Fox. They own ABC. They own the Disney Channel. They own ESPN. They own FX. They own National Geographic. They own Hulu. They own A&E. They own, of course, Disneyland, Disney World, and 14 other theme parks around the world. And by the time I finish that sentence, they probably just bought another company just to buy them. Disney is 96 years old. I wonder what Walt would think nowadays. Anyway, happy birthday to Disney. 51 years ago today, October 16, 1968, at the Summer Olympics in Mexico City, United States athletes Tommy Smith and John Carlos were kicked off the United States track team for participating in their Olympics Black Power salute. Most of the track and field team supported them. The head of the International Olympic Committee, Avery Brundage, said, "We're going to kick Tommy Smith and Juan Carlos off the team, and if you don't like it, we'll kick the whole team off." And they didn't want to do that, so they just kicked those two off. For Tommy Smith and Juan Carlos, it changed their lives. They were investigated by the FBI. They were under surveillance. They had death threats. The other gentleman in that photo was Peter Norman. He won the silver medal in that particular event. He was from Australia. He wore a badge, the Olympic Project for Human Rights badge, as a show of solidarity with Tommy Smith and Juan Carlos. When Peter Norman died in Australia a few years ago, his two pallbearers were Tommy Smith and Juan Carlos. The event happened on this date 51 years ago. This is the 45th anniversary of the election of Pope John Paul II. Caro Wojtyla elected John Paul II at the papal conclave in Rome. He became the first non-Italian pontiff since 1523, from the ABC News archives.
Simum ac reverendissimum Dominum, Dominum Carolum, Sancte Romane Ecclesiae, Cardinalem Wojtyła.
As far as we can understand, the Cardinal Felici has just announced the name of a Polish cardinal. Am I correct, Father O'Keefe?
This is exactly correct. This is Cardinal Charles Wojtyła, who is 58 years old, and he is the Cardinal Archdiocese of Cracovia.
Sibi nomen imposuit Ioannis Pauli,
who has taken the name of John Paul.
This is quite an extraordinary surprise, Father O'Keefe.
Absolutely.
I remember that well. Of course, John Paul II would serve as the pontiff for 27 years. And there is Bob Dylan, who is not the Pope. He's eligible, though. We all are, in a way. Finally, on this date, October 16th, 2001, it was 18 years ago today. Of course, this was shortly after the terrorist attacks, in the wake of the 9/11 terrorist attacks. Bob Dylan was on tour, and he demanded that security be tightened up during his current U.S. tour. There was a lot of nervousness, of course, going on in this country. And Bob Dylan said, I want security to be tighter than normal until things calm down. And it kind of backfired, because it was on this date before a concert in San Diego that Bob Dylan couldn't get into a Bob Dylan concert because two security guards refused admission to Bob Dylan to go to his own concert because Bob Dylan didn't have a pass to make it backstage. Security guards were subsequently fired. And finally, birthdays. At the bottom of the hour, he was a cantankerous son of a gun, but he was also one of the greatest justices in this court's history. Of course, with Northwest roots, he was born in Minnesota, but eventually he graduated from Yakima High School and Whitman College. William O. Douglas, the 71st Associate Justice of the United States Supreme Court, was born in the state in 1898. He served 36 years and 211 days. That's the longest serving justice in the history of the Supreme Court. He wrote more opinions, both majority and dissenting, than any other justice in the history of the Supreme Court. William O. Douglas was born in this state. In 1898, the federal courthouse in Yakima is named in his honor, and there is a statue of William O. Douglas in the courtyard of Davis High School in Yakima. Barry Corbin is 79 years old today. He burst on the scene in Urban Cowboy. He was great in war games. You remember him, the general in war games. He was in Lonesome Dove. He, of course, played Maurice Minifield in Northern Exposure. He was in One Tree Hill. He's been in No Country for Old Men. He's played Cam's father in Modern Family, the great Barry Corbin. Living the good life as a rancher in New Mexico. He's 79 years old today. And Sue Bird. Sue didn't play this year, of course, for the Seattle Storm. She was injured. She won 2 national championships at UConn. She's won 3 WNBA championships, all with the Seattle Storm. She won an Olympic gold medal, not 1, not 2, not 3. She has 4 Olympic gold medals. And, of course, she's an all-star, the great Sue Bird. They need her back for the Seattle Storm. She didn't play this year, and you could tell. Sue Bird is 39 years old today. We're going to take a break at 31 minutes after the hour. Look at the sun coming up. The rain has tapered off a little bit. It's coming back. When we come back, everybody is entitled to Mike McNally's opinion, and the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival Administrator Darci Christoferson will be dropping by as well. It's an interview we taped yesterday. You're going to like it. All that coming up between now and the top of the hour. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley, broadcasting live this morning from Studio 6 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life Channel.
We're here because of the children, because the children need to be protected. Their needs aren't being met.
They didn't ask for any of this stuff. It's not their choices that got them here.
The more adults that a child has that love them, the better off they are.
Children need a whole community to raise them. And if we can do any little thing, it makes a big difference in the child's life.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Some jobs are a calling. They call on something higher, something deeper, and a commitment to country that never dies. At Giza Credit Union, we help you support local veterans. With every purchase you make with a Giza Local Heroes Affinity debit card, we make a donation to select veterans organizations. After all, we can never repay them, but we can do our best to help a little. With the Giza Veterans Affinity debit card.
Contractors, furniture makers, and weekend do-it-yourselfers around north central Washington will tell you that Lombard's Hardwood Supply is the place to get what you need. Lombard's full millwork shop can handle jobs large or small. Lombard's has a full line of interior and exterior doors available, as well as custom barn doors. From alderwood to zebrawood and everything in between, it's Lombard's Hardwood Supply on School Street in Sunny Slope. Like us on Facebook and check out our monthly special.
Mary Maids of Wenatchee believes a clean home is a happy home. Mary Maids provides holiday cleaning services to cheer about. Don't let the seasonal cleaning ruin the festive fun. Mary Maids can simplify your life at a great value. It's never too soon to start planning a holiday perfect home. Mary Maids of Wenatchee happily offers a worry-free guarantee. Locally owned and operated, let Mary Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Call Mary Maids today.
Hi, I'm Ricardo, and this is Amanda, and we are from Impact Auto Sales.
Where you can expect a hassle-free car buying experience. With our wide selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs, let one of our friendly sales staff help you find the vehicle that fits your lifestyle. We have financing available for all credit types and great low rates for first-time buyers. Call us today at 888-8000 or stop by 3522 State Highway 97A in Wenatchee. Impact Auto Sales, where we strive to make an impact on your life and not your wallet.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I sometimes see on Facebook posts about pictures of police officers in full SWAT gear and the like, stating that these officers are heroes, men and women of courage, and they are. Hey, no doubt, believe me. But a lot of that, if I may say so, is just sometimes macho posing. Not in any way to show disrespect to those involved in the aggressive and potentially violent side of police work, but there's another side of police heroism. Those cops who deal with wounded victims, very often children. Wounds that are not physical, but instead emotional and psychological. It's these interactions with the most vulnerable members of our society which caused cop-turned-author Joseph Wumbaugh to say that it's the emotional and psychological stressors of these kind of contacts that make police work the world's most dangerous profession. Now, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and that's my opinion.
Find it all at Wenatchee Valley Mall. There's something for all ages at Wenatchee Valley Mall. No matter what the weather, the kids will have fun in one of the many play areas around the mall. Sign your kids up for fun adventures and super specials when they join the Kids Club. It's a great time for kids and an even better time out for parents. Check out specials and events 24/7 at WenatcheeValleyMall.com. It's your Wenatchee Valley Mall. Come shop today.
Push it, throw it, scrape it. Show the snow who's boss with versatile, durable, and maneuverable Bobcat compact equipment. Bobcat has the industry's largest selection of snow handling equipment and attachments. Cut through snow and ice fast, all from the comfort of a warm cab. Bobcat compact equipment, one tough animal.
Rose Tractor, quality brands you can trust year after year.
Sorrento's restaurant at Chelan Cellars provides a unique dining experience. The dining room provides a spectacular view of the Lake Chelan Valley. Lunch and dinner are served daily, and the weekend brunch is something that must be experienced and won't soon be forgotten. From the menu to the music, nothing is overlooked. At Sorrento's, you will always be impressed, especially when you discover how close and how affordable luxury can be. It's all within your reach at Sorrento's at Chelan Cellars.
The world around us is constantly changing. Major employers in North Central Washington have expressed a need for capable, qualified engineering technologists who can think critically and solve problems. And at Wenatchee Valley College, we listened. We are pleased to offer a Bachelor of Applied Science Engineering Technology degree to provide you with a world of new opportunities. Your time is now. The future is waiting for you.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz. The Centennial Washington State Apple Blossom Festival is in the books. It was the biggest party this town has ever seen. Now they get ready for another 100 years of Apple Blossom Festivals, and it begins in earnest, the Apple Blossom year, really on Saturday the 26th with the annual auction. And joining me on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, making her very first appearance ever on this program, Festival Administrator Darci Christoferson. Danny, say hi.
Hi.
Darci, say hi.
Hi.
Been a while.
It has been.
I saw you, I think, maybe in May, a couple of weeks after the festival was in the books, and that was kind of it for our annual visits.
That was it. It was a good summer.
Yeah.
It was
Festival
a good
season's
summer.
in the books.
Festival season's in the books. We spent our summer working on sponsorships and, of course, our auction, which is our time to gather up all the items for our big auction, like you said, which is on October 26th. So
Saturday, and it's a party.
It's a
good
party.
time. I can personally attest to that.
Yes.
Last year I dressed as Santa Claus. It was a Halloween theme, and nobody knew who I was, which was kind of cool.
Halloween one is always kind of
Yeah,
crazy.
it
Kind of
is.
crazy. This year our theme is a tailgate party. So we have about 350 people attending. And tickets are still available if people would like to go. They're $50 each. You get a full meal at the Wenatchee Center. And we have free beer.
Thanks, Odom.
Free beer, Odom,
Yes.
thank you. So just give us a call at 662-3616. We do ask if you do want to go to let us know by Friday.
Okay.
Because we need to put it in the computer and let the Wenatchee
Figure
Center
out how
know
much
how many
food
people
they're gonna make,
and
that
all
kind of
that. But it is a fun time.
We'll get into the nuts and bolts of the big auction here in just a couple of minutes. But first, the season's over. Royalty's off to college now.
They are. They
doing
are.
their thing, moving on to their next stage in life. Another great year. Kudos to the judges. I don't know how they do it.
I don't either, but they do a great
They
job.
always pick and the 10 of them all, when we talk about the top 10 royalty candidates, and they all get together in February, and they whittle it down to the final three, the Queen and the two Princesses. All 10 of them deserve it. That's me. every year. It's like, how do you pick them? How do you do it?
I know. It's so hard. That's always the hardest thing, is to say goodbye to the remaining 7. But life goes on, and we get an amazing 3, and hopefully the same thing will happen this year.
For the uninitiated, basically, they still work even after the Apple Blossom Festival is all said and done. Darci and her staff, they don't take any real breaks. She gets a couple of weeks off here in like July and August, but that's really about it. And then the festival year really begins with the auction, and it goes all the way through to that end of May, and then they started all over again. The auction itself, the usual shenanigans apply as we throw the poster up. Everybody knows what's going on. I mean, some of the favorites are back. Queen-O, I'm sure, will be back.
Queen-O is back, and that is when you buy a number for $20, and you just hope that your number's not called. If it is called, you're out. Did I say that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I said
if your number's called, you're out.
Yes, correct. Yeah. And then we also have Heads and Tails. That was a fun one last year. And then instead of doing our raffle, we actually added games. So we have a Pepsi Pong, a cornhole, and a football toss. So you pay $5 for each game, and then you can win the pot at 2 of the games, and then one of them you will win some prizes from Weinstein Beverage. Okay. Then your name's put into a big pot where you can win a Bluetooth speaker.
Oh, okay.
So,
good.
Yeah.
No, I was online, appleblossom.org, by the way, and there's like for $50 extra, it's $50 to get in. But for $50 more, you get like a package or something?
We call it a Blossom Pack. So you pay $50 and you get the Queen-O, you get Heads and Tails, and you get 4 game tickets.
Oh, wow.
So that's basically getting 1 game ticket for free. So then you just walk in and you can just walk around and do all the games instead of waiting at the door. So we really encourage people to buy your Blossom Packs early, so then you don't have to worry about it, waiting in line. So, and we have early check-in too. So on Friday before the auction, you can come and get your packet in advance. Okay. And we'll be sending out emails to everybody about that.
Silent auction is I prefer the silent auction as opposed to the live auction. They're both fun. I enjoy doing it, but the silent auction is fun as the master of ceremonies, because table 4 will close in 5, and they all kind of, because they got items that they've been bidding on. They've been going back and forth.
And we've kind of learned, especially from last year, is that the live auction is really, really fun, and things always go for big money. But what we're learning is people kind of have their own competition with the silent. So we probably have 4 less live items this year, and we're tailoring the silent to be a little bit more exciting and have more competition with that, because we actually made more money in the silent sections than we did in the live. So we're kind of changing that up a little bit, keeping our fingers crossed, hoping that it will work. But I think it will.
And all the favorites are back. You must have an easy time really getting the people to donate items. Because it's always, every year they have these great vacations and dinners and wine and all that cool stuff.
We are so blessed, although we can never compete with the kids and the animals. Whenever you have an auction for kids and animals, people call me, oh my gosh, they made $300,000. I'm like, it's about kids. It's different. So we just kind of go with what we have, but we are so blessed that we have the businesses in our community that give year after year, and people in our community that donate their homes or their condos or whatever.
Or their cooking expertise.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, we have a lot of that this year where people are opening up their homes and having a big dinner, and we really appreciate that. And then we have one, it's called Hotties and Toddies, and it's women. And for $50, you get a ticket to Hotties and Toddies, and it's at Karen and Greg Oak's home. We do an ornament exchange, and Stacy and Ray Hobson cook all the food. And we have some bartenders there, and it was a blast last year.
And it's ladies only.
It's ladies only, and we're opening it up again this year, and you actually can still go and not attend the auction. Okay. So we'll open that up after the auction and remind people.
I remember seeing a Facebook post, I think it was Dina or somebody, who did a photo of all the girls from last year's
Up on the staircase, and it was just so fun. And it was right before, the holidays, and it was just a nice, fun, different group of women, all different types of women. It was really fun. So we're doing that again. But you're right. People are opening up their homes to us, and it's just really cool how people step it up for us.
I went online and I stole your video
yes.
of Dina, who's been involved with the auction forever. And this year's, is Darren this year's chair?
Yeah, Darren's the chairperson. They're actually co-chairing.
Okay.
Darren chaired probably 10 years ago, and then
Okay.
now he's back. And then Dina's kind of focusing more on the decorations part of it.
Okay, which is what she does well.
Right, and then Darren kind of works more with the staff on items and organizing it.
So here's a little teaser video. It's Darren Gaynor and Dina Bollinger. Check this out.
My name's Darren Gaynor, and I'm the chairman of the auction this year.
And I'm Dina Bollinger, and I'm in decoration mode.
Yes, she always is. And we would like to invite you to attend the Apple Blossom Royalty Scholarship Auction, October 26th at 6 o'clock.
Yes. So our theme this year is tailgate. Woohoo! So we want you to dress in your favorite team colors. You can do football, you can do hockey, you can do ice skating, I don't care.
We got Pepsi games this year, so these games are a little bit different than they have been in the past. We have cornhole, you've played that before. We have beer pong, and we also have a football toss. And the winner will get
Prizes, you'll get to wear a medal all night.
all night long.
And then the winners of those individual games get entered to get a grand prize at the end of the night. We also have a grand prize for Quino, and we have a prize, if you stay at the end, you get a door prize for hanging out. So you could win lots of money and lots of prizes.
We're also doing a football board, which is 10 squares by 10 squares for the WSU Oregon State game.
That's right.
And you can sign up for $20 a square. So even if you can't attend,
That's right.
you can call the festival office right up here
That's right.
and buy a square, 20 bucks.
662-3616. So please join us this year for the Apple Blossom Auction. It's our biggest fundraiser. It's always a good time and you don't want to miss it. $50 a ticket, $500 for a table. Come join us.
Come see us.
Dina looks really good on TV. Darren,
Darren, not so much.
not so much. That $500 for a table is a heck of a deal. Isn't
It really is, yeah. It like I said, you get a full meal, you get free beer, and that's what's really fun about our auction is it's kind of everybody did their summer gig and now it's back to reality, and it's just a fun kickoff to Apple Blossom and really fall, and everybody sees each other again, and it's great. It's a crazy time though.
It is.
It isn't calm and subtle.
No, it's a fun time, and I remember a couple times as the master of ceremonies. It's on a Saturday night, and there's usually a big college football game going on, and everybody's going, "What's the score of the game? Can you tell us the score of the game?" And I always have to.
So the game that we will be choosing, we're hoping it is the Oregon Wazoo game.
Okay.
But we haven't heard if it's a night game yet.
Okay, they don't have.
They
to pick
keep
the kickoff,
on.
Right.
I mean, just figure it out, right? So that's our game that we would love to have, playing and the betting board. So for $20, you get a square, and you know how all that works.
Wait a minute. You're royalty. You're an important person. You call up
I
the
want
Pac-12
to- I mean,
and you
it's
say,
driving
"This
me-
is Darci Christoferson, and you need to kick off the Cougar Duck game at 7 o'clock on Saturday
Be
the 26th."
perfect.
Just order it done.
And we're assuming that is the case, right?
Yeah.
Because Oregon's good.
Oregon's good, and the Cougars.
Cougars are good. They just kind of
been losing lately.
have not been doing well.
Yeah, well, that happens.
Yeah, it does.
So
it's done.
all the information we're talking about, by the way, is appleblossom.org, appleblossom.org. But again, the deadline to either to get your ticket or get your table. How many tickets or tables are left? You can't be that many.
We could probably sell one more table.
Okay, that's it.
One more table, because we have so much stuff going on that it's hard to get all the tables.
And seriously,
in there.
people, if you've never done it, do it. You've heard about it. You've seen social media posts and pictures of everybody just having a blast. And it all goes to a good cause.
It all goes to a good cause. It really goes to our whole royalty program. We spend about $21,000 a year just on the scholarships for our royalty. And then it's a lot of money taking them to all these festivals. Our float's $10,000 just to ensure the festival and the float and the girls going on the out-of-town trips. That's $43,000. So the money doesn't just go to the scholarships. It goes to the whole royalty program, out-of-town festivals, etc.
And it starts Apple Blossom's year, and that's when Darci and the crew start cranking things up. From that, the next big event, of course, is the Royalty Selection Pageant. And for you senior girls in North Central Washington, it's time to start thinking about it.
It is, yes, yes. We will send out letters to all the senior girls in the Eastmont and Wenatchee school districts the first week of November. Our mandatory meetings are December 3rd, so you must attend this meeting with a parent or guardian, and they're at 12 noon, 4 p.m., and 6 p.m. at the Wenatchee Convention Center. And again, you must attend the meeting with a parent or guardian, but you can do a different one. So your parents could go at noon, and you could go at the 4 o'clock meeting. But all the information about our royalty program is online right now. So if you want to take a look at the royalty manual, all the forms that you're going to have to fill out, you can do that now.
And the fact that you upped the scholarships was a great move. Is it $10,000 now for the Queen?
$10,000 for the Queen. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So $10,000 for the Queen. That is sponsored by the Wenatchee Appellarians. And then the princesses each receive $5,000, and then the remaining 7 receive $1,000. And then we have 4 scholarships that are given out where they also receive $1,000.
How's this year's DG doing so far?
Doing great. It's Lori Reed
Yes.
from Mitchell Reed Insurance, and then the Appellarian Chancellor is Richard Seal. And I can't tell you how, I mean, they're just the sweetest people ever, both of them. So it's very calm, and I like that.
The way they do it is such a great idea, because you know you're going to be the DG, the head volunteer, 3 or 4 years in advance.
Yes.
And so there's not a lot of surprise. There's always surprises, but you keep the surprises to as minimum as you possibly can.
Right, yeah. We start with our program director, and this year it's Linda Harold. So Linda Harold will go to all of the meetings that pertain to programs, youth parade, grand parade, entertainment. And then our assistant director general is Brad Bozette, and he works with us with the finances, just the in-office type things. And then, of course, Lori's our Director General. So then by the time you're Director General, you should know everything about Apple Blossom, so there's no surprises or questions. So
And one last little thing I want to know. Last Apple Blossom Grand Parade Saturday last year was such a ball.
It was so fun.
I mean, the parade was a kick in the rear end, having all of the past royalty that could make it, and the Grand Marshals coming in from New Zealand was fantastic. And then Memorial Park was just one big party all day Saturday and all night Saturday night. It was a blast.
It was so fun. It's kind of like
My
a wedding.
face hurt
I
on
know.
Saturday from smiling. It
So
did.
did mine.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like a wedding. You know, when you do a wedding, it's awesome.
Yeah.
But then it's like, oh shoot, I should have done this, or oh, why didn't I do this? And I did have that for a few weeks of things that I wish I would have done a little different, or we would have done a little different. But in the end, it was amazing, and just seeing 160 past royalty members going down that parade route. And thank you for broadcasting, because a lot of things I didn't get to see happen until I saw it on TV. So that was awesome for me to be able to.
We're on board again, as we always are. One of our most watched programs from out of town every year, because we have the analytics, we can look at this, is a royalty selection package.
I know.
We get hundreds and hundreds, literally hundreds and hundreds of people who watch online on our live stream on our television station from all over the United States and all over the world to watch the royalty selection pageant. It was surprising when we saw the numbers.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, again, the past royalty that came home, they're still interested in what they did, 20, 30, 40 years ago. And when you do watch it, it all comes back to you. And then your stomach hurts for the girls giving the speeches. And so I'm not surprised at all, and for that past royalty stream. And
well, the pageant also, good news for us, makes great television.
It does.
It's great TV.
It does,
yeah. It really is. Did we cover everything? We're about done?
I think so.
Through it? Okay.
Yeah, just call us, 662-3616, or go online, appleblossom.org, or go to our app, of course, which is sponsored by Crunch Pack. That's a great, quick way to check everything out, too.
So, go Huskies, go Panthers, go Cougars, go Wildcats. There, I covered everything, right?
Yes.
Good.
We want everybody to win this weekend.
Absolutely.
Everybody needs to win.
I will see you Friday night at the Apple Bowl.
Yes, I'll
go
be
Panthers against the Pirates.
Yes.
You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee. Darci, by the way, making her very first appearance.
Yeah, first one.
On Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Darci, say bye-bye. Bye-bye. Danny, say bye-bye. We'll be right back.
When you think of Doghouse Motorsports, you might think of motorcycles, but there's a lot more in this house. How about Honda power equipment? From snowblowers to lawnmowers to generators and even water pumps, Honda is the brand that sets the standards. Perhaps you need an ATV or UTV. The Doghouse has the largest selection anywhere. Did we mention watercraft and snowmobiles? And of course, we have motorcycles too. Back it up with terrific customer service and you have Wenatchee's best motorsports store 5 years running. Isn't it time for you to be in the doghouse?
Shop the Ashley Home Store grand opening sale this weekend. Shop the incredible savings you'll find store-wide. Sofas starting at $4.99. Get 50% off this hybrid queen mattress, now only $4.49 with free memory foam pillow. And save on reclining sofas starting at $5.99. Free giveaways every weekend. Enter to win your choice. Plus, no interest for up to 60 months. Celebrate the unbeatable savings at this grand opening sale. Hurry in now. Ashley Home Store. This is home. Next to Davis Furniture in downtown Wenatchee.
You don't have to be a member to enjoy the view and dine in style at Highlander Bar and Grill in East Wenatchee. Open 7 days a week, Highlander Grill offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Dine in or take it to go, our friendly staff is here to serve you. Reservations recommended for Friday night's prime rib dinner. Call for live music dates. Hi, I'm Shalane, site coordinator for Highlander Grill. Give me a call to schedule your event today.
Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning has been proudly serving the Wenatchee Valley for over 35 years. And just as Dick's has been there for you, they have also been an essential part of our community, supporting local youth sports all year long and your Wenatchee Wild.
Thanks for your support. Thanks, Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, for all your support. Thank you.
Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, your local, independent, trained comfort specialist. Call 884-6444 today.
I have a hereditary bone disease from the female side of my family. My bone loss was so significant that you could almost see the roots. I became embarrassed and I started covering my mouth. Eating became very difficult as far as I stopped eating apples, corn on the cob, things that you just eat as it is without utensils. Dr. Divis was my dentist prior to having implants. We talked about traditional dentures or implants, and implants was the only way really that I could go. John Divis and all of his office staff, they checked on me throughout all the processes. I would never go anyplace else. Today I can eat corn on the cob, I can have apples. Thanks to Dr. John Divis and his staff, I have my smile back. I feel more confident. I am me again.
This is John Divis. Let our team help you solve your dental needs.
And we're back live here from Studio 5. A couple of minutes left in the program. Let's take one more look at your weather forecast. And basically, wet. A very active weather pattern starts today. And really, with the exception of Friday, we're going to have more rain than we are going to have dry periods. In fact, there's a brand new graphic that was just sent down the line, excuse me, from the National Weather Service. I wanted to throw this up. Take a look at that. Very wet weather in our future. As I mentioned at the top of the hour, we're expecting enough rain in the next 5 days to basically do all of our rain that we would normally see for the entire month of October. And one more thing I wanted to point out with all this very wet weather heading our way, the snow level is going to get down to pass level on Saturday morning. So if you're heading over the mountain passes, you could be dealing with some of the white stuff. It's going to be right about 4,000 feet, the snow level, over the weekend in the Cascades. Puget Sound area is going to get a lot of rain. Us, not so much, but certainly more than we're used to. Rain today, off and on. Most of the heavier rain is going to be after the noon hour, by the way. Will certainly be cloudy, and we'll top off at about 59 degrees. So take a look at that. That's a lot of rain coming our way. Rain tonight tapers off right around 10 o'clock or so. Certainly clouds. And then overnight, after the rain stops, we'll have partly cloudy skies, dipping down to 44. Slight chance of rain on Thursday. Thursday looks fairly dry. Then Thursday night, another system comes through, going to give us some rain. Friday, fairly dry, fairly sunny, but quite windy at times on Friday. And then the next system, system number 3 in this parade of systems, comes in on Friday night. It'll rain overnight Friday into early Saturday morning. Saturday, off and on intermittent showers. Most of the showers we're expecting on Saturday will be in the morning. And then Sunday, a mixture of rain and sun, certainly kind of a mixed bag there. Just unsettled and active is the best way to describe the weather forecast. Temperatures that you see there pretty much just a little bit below normal, not well below normal, but as I mentioned, it's going to be wet, really for the most part, all the way into Monday of next week. There's no getting around that, so break out the bumper shoot. My guest tomorrow will be Dr. Julie Smith. She's an oncologist at Confluence Health. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. That conversation tomorrow, provided this show isn't canceled. Stay dry, and we'll see you Thursday. Take care. Bye-bye.